guys, welcome to Lindsey's party. Woo! So glad to have you all here. In this video, I'm going to go through specific books that I think that you guys would like for your kiddos based on the answers in your RSVPs. So if I don't mention you in this video, that's because you RSVP'd this very afternoon and I didn't see it until after I made the video. So sorry, but I'm sure you'll see some stuff that you really like. I wanted to start talking with Brittany about Chris and Sam, who both of them are not into reading all that much. Let's start with Chris, and Jessica Niels will probably like a lot of these. Chris is into manga, which is a whole other genre that I never really got into. I never really got into comic books or that kind of thing, but I get why people would like to read in that way because they like the visual stimulus. And we're very good at Usborne about the visual stimulus, even in our older kid books. For example, we have a ton of graphic novels that are graphic Shakespeare and other things. This one's our newest one. It's Macbeth. So you still have all of the pictures, but you're getting an abridged version of the story of Macbeth. I think this would have been a really good way to introduce Shakespeare. I personally, in high school, hated Shakespeare. And it's because I didn't realize it was meant to be watched. It wasn't meant to be read. You need the visuals to go with Shakespeare. It doesn't make any sense. We have a ton of these. Niels already has a bunch of them, but Jessica, this one's new. It's Macbeth. If you're trying to get a love of history going, we have this one called The Medieval Messenger, and it's written like an old-timey newspaper, but it's not a newspaper of today. It's a newspaper of the medieval times. All aboard the Infidel Express. This is so fun. Parisians upset as king paves the streets. How dare he? Titus of Cookham Travel Agency. Is this putting you off the holiday of your lifetime? This is hilarious. I love this book. The other one that's kind of got the same idea of getting you involved in history is Time Traveler. And it hits Vikings and Romans and Egypt with plenty of words, but a lot of pictures. We like to look at something like this. What's going on in the castle, all the different people, and then go, okay, I think I would probably be over here weaving a tapestry. Where would you be? That kind of thing. That's Time Traveler. Super duper fun. We also have things that are very graphic novel-esque, but for money, economics, and political science and government. Let me show you. See, it's about poli-sci, but it's written in a very graphic novel way. Makes learning a lot more fun than when you open a book and it's just solid text and maybe a picture. This really is going to be great for those visual learners. So don't worry, if all he likes to read is manga, let him read his manga. That's fine, but you also need to find other things that cover this. I'm also going to put in I'm going to PM you one of our series, The Sword of Kuromori, which is a very manga-esque novel. It's actually 3 novels, and I'll send you the PM for that one. I couldn't find my copy. I don't know where it went. So that would be for Chris and also for Niels, for sure, because he loves all that kind of stuff. Sam likes animals, art, and music, and he is 6. And you know who else likes those things is Lupine. Hi, Molly. Hope you're on. Likes animals and outdoors and art as well. So let's show you a few things for those 2 kiddos. Mateo might like some of these too, Pragati. So look inside space. I show off some of our flat books later on in the party, but this one is for 4, 5, 6-year-olds, and it's got lots and lots and lots of flaps for more information on different things. We only ever see one side of the moon as it goes around the earth. The other side looks very different. It's called the dark or far side of the moon, and it's covered with a huge hole called crater. And then you look at the crater. Craters are made by rocks crashing into the moon from space. So that is my favorite space book for that age. And if you feel like they're ready for more of a challenge, we've got Sea Inside Space, which gets really deep into all of the space stuff. More for your 8, 9-year-olds. So that would be really good for Mateo. Also, we have a series that has 3D glasses, and this one has space in it, so it comes with 3D glasses, and it's got 3D pictures in it. So that can be fun for a lot of kids, and I do have extra 3D glasses. If you guys need siblings to have glasses, I can mail you some extra ones. There's also a Ludwig Time Dog, which has a bunch of dinosaurs where he goes back in time, but who doesn't want to have a book with 3D glasses? I mean, come on. Somebody who liked Legos. Oh, Mateo liked Legos. Try How Things Work. This is a look inside as well. It's got a lot of flaps, and it has a lot of information like how trains work, how gravity works. Let's see, on the road, how does the car drive? Look at that. How does a car slow to a stop? How Things Work is a really, really good book. All right, let's see. If you want to get a little bit of your art on and learn about art, I really recommend How Art Works. So it's like Sam and Lupine would probably really like this one. So it talks about art in a way that was never really talked to me. And I kind of feel like I missed out on art history a little bit. But this is the kind of book that those two could really grow into. They could start by just looking at the pictures for now. And then as they age, it will really help support their love of art. And for our music kids, we have a few different things that are actually make sounds. So this is our musical instrument book. What you do is you've got these different cards and you slip them in and it'll give you the sounds of the different instruments. Let me turn it on for you. So, harp, lute, sitar. So there's several cards for different types of instruments. You put them in and you find out what those instruments sound like. We have other things that have cards like that too, like learning Spanish. We have one that's for learning Spanish, and I'm starting to learn a few things because my daughter puts the cards in and she hits the buttons while we're driving and I try to guess what it is. We also have the My First Guitar book and the My First Keyboard book and the My First Drumming book. It comes with where you kind of lay down a beat and then you strum along, and it does come with a little bit of early ideas of how music works. They're figuring out what the colors go to, and then you start playing music along with these little guys. And the same thing goes for the drum and the keyboard book. It has some music in it, so that's really fun. That's the My First Guitar book, and we've got a few things like that. All right, for my animal lovers like Sam and Lupine, we have got Usborne Beginners. These are meant for 5 and 6-year-olds, and we have got the best nonfiction. I love penguins. So it has some real pictures and some pictures that are drawn. Some penguins live in very warm places, such as New Zealand and South America. They find lots of ways to stay cool. They hunt at night when it's cooler. African penguins live on the beach in South Africa. So little short, hardback, good and sturdy, all kinds of different animals. And then we also have a big set that you can buy. There's 15 in the set, and it's all animals. So that would be a way if you're thinking, oh my God, I need a bunch of those. That's the way to do that, is to get the set. These are great. I love Usborne Beginners. Alphabet of Peculiar Creatures. This one cracks me up. My animal lovers are going to think this is funny. A is for, is it going to be alligator? No, axolotl. Because why not? Axolotls are amphibians and related to frogs and toads, and they come in many colors, from black to gold and even pale pink with red eyes. We got H for hyrax, I for indri, L for lowland streaked tenric. All the most ridiculous animals. We found ourselves laughing hysterically as we looked up what a Grimpoteuthis really looked like. G is for Grimpoteuthis, by the way. Yeah, he's a pretty funny looking dude. Dumbo elephant, crazy looking guy in the ocean. So, that's Alphabet of Peculiar Creatures. You will laugh hysterically if you look at this one. All right. Several of you were looking for really good picture books and storybooks to cuddle up with your kids. So, Pragati, look at this one. Curious Case of the Missing Mammoth. This is one of those sneaky learning books because it's fun, but you're also having an opportunity to learn. So this little boy hears a noise outside his window, and when he peeps out, he sees a huge, hairy mammoth. So it turns out that this mammoth has lost his baby brother. Oh, there he goes! And they chase him around the museum because they need to get him back home before the magic hour is up. So they go to the museum, and all of the things have come alive. And throughout every page, there's little things that you can learn. Like when they go into the airplane part, there's little biographies of important pilots. So you can just have a slow night where you decide to just read it and kind of skip some of this extra stuff and you just read the story. Or you can have some time to sit down and read some of the facts that are thrown in there. So that's The Curious Case of the Missing Mammoth. Super cute. Prince, Witch, Thief, Bear is about a little boy and dad who are making up their own story. Do you guys ever do that, where instead of reading a book, you do popcorn stories, where you change over who's telling the story and it just gets sillier and sillier? What kind of story shall we have tonight? Asked Dad as he tucked Jamie into bed one evening. A made-up one, said Jamie, with a prince and a bear and a witch and more bears? All right, why not? This is a story called The Prince and the Witch and the Thief and the Bear by Jamie's dad. Once upon a time there lived a valiant prince. He was brave and noble, and he lived in a far-off kingdom where he... How far off? What? How far off was the kingdom? The kingdom was... Look how he's like looking at the map. And he just goes on like that. It's so funny. Okay, this I love. Where Happiness Lives. This is about being happy with what you have. Such an important topic. Oh my gosh. This is Gray Mouse. In his sweet little home, he is happy and safe here, and never alone. It's just enough room for each mouse to have fun, and plenty of windows to let in the sun. There's a garden outside with a shady oak tree. I'm lucky, says Mouse. This home's perfect for me. But one day out walking, Mouse spots a large door. It belongs to a house that is hard to ignore. I love this page. Isn't it beautiful? There's oodles of space and a balcony, too. The owner, a white mouse, looks out at the view. Good morning. I live down the way in a sweet little home that seemed fine till today. But your home is much bigger. I wish mine was grand. You must be the happiest mouse in the land. We find out that that house isn't the biggest house, and that mouse isn't happy because there's an even bigger house, and they go and check it out, and it's the sweetest book about being happy with what you have. For our littles, Love You Who is a really good way to say I love you before bed. Cuddle up now, little one. Let's snuggle wing to wing. Are you feeling safe and warm? Okay then, let's begin. There's something I must tell you before you close your eyes. I want to woo-hoo-hoo it so it fills the starry skies. Ever since you hatched, you see, you set my world alight. With you, hoo-hoo, each day becomes so colorful and bright. So cute. If you have a 3, 4, 5-year-old like Mateo or Kelly, I didn't catch your boy's name, we have some books that are a little sturdier if you're worried about the flat books. The My Very First series, there's science, there's an outdoors one, there's one about space, there's one about animals, there's one about dinosaurs. I can go on and on. They don't have flaps. It's still nonfiction though. It's got these floppy pages with lots of info. So literally it'll just be like, this is a limpet, cowrie, pebble, crab shell, jellyfish, sea urchin, fish egg. Very factual. Some kids really like that. Rainy days, poplar, oak, cedar, birch, eucalyptus. I'm allergic to those. That's the outdoor one. The very first science book, your body, animals, the world of plants, our world, so many good things in these. So that's the My Very First series. Really, really good, very sturdy. So if either you think your 3, 4, 5-year-old isn't ready for flaps, or if you've got a younger kid at home that you're worried is going to get a hold of their books, these would probably be a better choice than ones with flaps. Also, a little heavier duty is the Big Book series. These come in all kinds of things like sea creatures, there's one about trucks, there's one about construction sites, there's one about space, there's one about everything. So I love the color one because I'm more of an artist myself. So it's got saffron and canary and buttercup and Naples for all of the different yellows and oranges and reds and purples. And then it's got this fun page where you flip this thing back and forth and see how it changes the art on either side. And it's got a fun little color wheel in the front so you can start to understand how the color wheel works and how the colors mix together. I really, really recommend the Big Book of Colors. And it comes in Spanish, so then you can learn the colors in Spanish too. I mean, I know basic like red, rojo, but all of those other ones, I don't know those. So the big books are a really good choice for very sturdy and for a nice wide range, especially if you have multiple kids that might be using them. For those 2-year-olds in our party, like Trinity and then Angelica's baby and Kelly's baby girl, I really highly recommend this series, All Better, Kisses, Cuddles, and Time to Brush. These have reusable stickers in them. This was the original, All Better. So it's got these reusable stickers in them, and you take the sticker. Oh no, Doug wasn't looking where he was going. Ouch! Better clean it, kiss it, and put a Band-Aid on it. And you put a cute little Band-Aid on it, and it's all about taking care of owies. He's got an ow, and there's Band-Aids for everyone. This one, there's toothbrushes for everyone, and this one, there's little snuggle cuddles that they need to cuddle up with in order to be able to go to bed. My almost 5-year-old still plays with these. We've had these for over 2 years. The stickiness is still good, but even if you get dog hair on it or something, rinse it off, lay it out to dry, the stickiness comes right back. So I highly recommend these. For the baby in our group here, we've got Serena, who likes milk, which sounds about right. That really cracked me up, Brigatti. The That's Not My series is all about touchy-feely, and this one happens to have a nice sparkle to it. That's not my mermaid. Her crown is too bumpy. That's not my mermaid. Her tail is too scaly. We have got over 50 of these, and some of them are available in Spanish. Isn't that so fun? So that's a really good way if you're trying to promote Spanish learning in your house, is to have baby books that are in Spanish, because why not? The other one I wanted to show you guys for the babies, we have the baby's very first tractor book, ambulance book, all that kind of stuff. A book that's a car also. Yeah, duh, gonna need that. If you like the idea of flaps, but you know, babies, we have Goodnight Owl, which has felt flaps, and the same thing for Goodnight Chameleon, which has a really bright pink cover for those people that like that. We have Night Night on the Farm, where you get to read, watch this, the favorite story of all the animals before they go to bed. Super cute. We also have Night Night Busy Town, which does the same thing for cars. You got to read the cars to sleep because they had a busy day. Slide and Seas, really fun. Got a ton of these. Slide and See Dinosaurs, Slide and See Zoo, all kinds of stuff for Slide and Seas. And then these are new. We've got some matching card games where you have to match up on the board with the cards. Very, very good for that visual learning. And there's Bugs and a few others like this. These are brand new, and I wish that we had had those because I think that my daughter would have really dug something like this. Let's talk about activity books really fast because several of you wanted those. Our hostess loves this series, the Build Your Own sticker books. I think you've got like 4 of them already, Lindsay. Oh my goodness, these are so much fun. They're kind of advanced sticker books. So this is the alien one. So you see all of the blank spaces. You go to the sticker page and there are the exact things. So it's exact location of where the stickers need to be. And then there is some statistics about this particular alien is Zadkel. And Zadkel is the last survivor of a long and bitter war. On the silent dunes of his homeworld, he studied an infinite number of possible timelines, searching for a way to go back and stop the war from ever starting. So, statistics, very intelligent, not very powerful. They love these. There's dinosaurs, there's trucks, there's monster trucks, there's fantasy warriors. These, I mean, they keep them busy for a long time. We have art gallery sticker book. How fun is that? Where it leaves you spaces on the wall and spaces on the grass to put the sculptures. Look at all of these stickers. I kind of want to keep this one for myself. Art gallery sticker books, so fun. We have several of these folding paper airplanes. It comes with 100 pages with instructions on how to fold that particular one so that the pattern lines up really nicely. This one just happens to be the ones that look like dragons, but there's ones that look like bugs and space shuttles and that kind of thing. Color pop-up. You actually get to color it and then glue in the pop-up pieces and make your own pop-up book. There's a mermaid one, this is the monster one, there's a few others. Can't say enough good things about our wipe cleans. Learning how to hold a pencil is really difficult in my house because I'm a lefty and my daughter's a righty and she's holding a pencil all wrong. But we're learning how to write our letters. Since we're not going to be going to TK, we got to learn it here. These are great, and there's a few packs of them too if you want to have some older kid ones about math and division and that kind of stuff. So we've got skills packs for home learning. Lots of different, very awesome coloring books. There's fashion coloring books. There's things like this that are more about the Japanese culture. There's ones that have beautiful sayings so you can color it and then put it up on your wall. Magic paint. Oh my gosh. So it comes with a paintbrush and it starts out blank, but if you add water, you get the picture. So these are endless fun. There's 20 pages of these. It takes my daughter at least 20 minutes to finish one. And these are only $10. So you do the math. That's a lot of free time when you're trying to cook. Bring out the magic paint books. If you're worried they're going to make a mess, give them a wet Q-tip instead of a cup and a paintbrush. That way they won't spill the paint. But if they accidentally drink the paint water, they still live. That's what we found out. I guess it's not toxic. Woohoo! We also have embroidery kits. This happens to be the mermaid embroidery kit. So much fun. We've got several things like this. So we have activity books up the yin yang, guys. So many sticker books, so much fun. And then really quick for some of our older kids like Chris and Niels, let's talk about some science books. We've got the chemistry of cola and the biology of bananas, because why not? All kinds of interesting science in here about food, how the energy is converted, all kinds of interesting stuff in here, all about food. And this one, chemical math, sugary science, what's sweeter than sugar, lots and lots and lots of science in there. Greek myths and legends. Look at how beautifully this captures. I'm not sure what grade they do this, but I'm looking forward to it. I love this kind of stuff. We have a lot of illustrated dictionaries. This one's the biology one. And so you could look up muscles and get an idea. Nervous system, reproduction. Really great source for them to figure out stuff without having to ask you, because who remembers biology? Not me. There's a illustrated physics, the illustrated dictionary of math, illustrated grammar and punctuation, and then there's some elementary ones like illustrated elementary science dictionary. So that gets it a little bit easier, a little bit more pictures, a little less words. So if you're looking for a younger one like that. This one is so underrated. The world of microscopes. How microscopes work and what things are looking like under microscopes and what we've learned since discovering how microscopes work. This is such a cool book. I really, really like this one. I think every home needs World of Microscopes. And real life mysteries. We got to figure out UFOs, curses. Oh my goodness. Ghosts. Real life mysteries. I think the older kids would really enjoy all of these.